Hi, my name is Laura Sanchez, and I am currently an Azusa Pacific student. I am enrolled in the master's degree to receive my teaching credential and master's in education. I haven't always pursued a career in education. It wasn't until recently I decided to become a teacher. There has always been an interest in education and liberal studies because of my upbringing. My dad has been a teacher for over 30 years. I have seen him be an administrator, a special education teacher, a coach in different kinds of sports, and always a part of school districts. He was my main reason why I would ever want to be an educator. I saw the benefits and rewards he received while being a teacher, such as the good pay, him always being with me and my sister on the holidays, having the weekends off, and making a difference in some of his students' lives. When I was young, I did see myself as a teacher. But once I got into high school and graduated, I saw teaching wasn't for me at the time. I wanted to help children. More than in the classroom, I wanted to be a social worker, a clinical social worker. I wanted to work inside the hospitals to help those children that were abused or neglected. I got my bachelor's degree in human services management with a goal in mind to be a social worker for Department of Children and Family Services, Los Angeles. Once I got married and had my children, I felt that it wasn't right for me. I felt God was calling me to become an educator. In my heart, I always wanted to be someone that helped children. Wasn't sure in what way. I saw my dad's role in children's lives, and that did influence me. But I still wasn't clear. So I gave myself a couple of years. I raised my family, raised my children. But now it was time for me to find a direction in where my life and career was going. I decided to start back school at Azusa Pacific University to pursue my master's degree in education and to receive my teaching credential. The past year has been amazing. I have found where I would love to belong, most likely in elementary school. I'm leaning towards more second grade. A lot of my observation hours were done in an elementary school setting. The host teachers that I would encounter were greatly influential. They not only showed me how rewarding the job could be, but how hard it could be as well. And that's a challenge I am willing to take to make a difference in my students' lives, to create a safe and warm and welcoming environment for my students. This journey throughout the years on deciding of what road I was going to take to help children, I feel God had appointed me into the classroom. There hasn't been any resiliency that I have dealt with much in my life. I feel that I have not encountered anything that I wasn't able to achieve. But I do see that as a teacher, I will encounter some. I will encounter the hard children that it's going to be difficult for me to work with because I have little to no experience in the classroom. I will learn more to have more patience. I will learn to be more caring. I will learn to differentiate for all of my students. And I anticipate this resiliency. I anticipate and I'm aware of what's going to be happening. And I am ready for it. With my courses at Azusa Pacific University, I believe that our educators, our professors, they have taught us and prepared us for what we will encounter in the classroom, and they have gave us tools to put in our toolbox. So once we enter our first classroom, we will be ready. Some of my cultural beliefs and experiences have influenced me to be a teacher. Mostly my dad, so my culture at home, seeing what a good provider he was and the difference he made in some of his students' lives and those that he coached in sports in high school. I saw what a teacher could really do and what a coach could really do for one kid's life. They can greatly impact it. And I believe that God calls those who he wants to educate. Jesus himself was a teacher. He taught everybody that he came encounter with. He taught love. And I want to teach my students not only content, but how to be a good person. And I could do that with a Christian worldview perspective. There was an elementary school teacher that really impacted my life, and she did make me want to be a teacher at the time. It was a fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Gear, and she was awesome. She showed me that being a teacher isn't just directing the classroom, pointing at the board, and lecturing. It was taking the time to get to know your students, their backgrounds, their homes, their families, taking interest in the actual person, the student, to ask about their little brother or sister, to see how mom and dad are doing, to send home an extra note, to give the extra encouragement, to help after school, before school, during break, during recess, to ask how their weekend was. She was all of that. And I saw that not only did I succeed academically with her help and her differentiation for me, she modeled a good person, a good teacher, and that will stick with me until this day. And I have been impacted by a teacher that had a negative perspective and didn't differentiate, an algebra math teacher, where math still haunts me till this day because of her perspective and her educational philosophy. She didn't believe in differentiation. She believed in lecturing, and that was to work for every one of her students. Well, it didn't. And it left me with a bad reminder of math and just a negative experience in that classroom. I never want to experience that again. And I don't want to put any students through that. So it is my goal to take what APU has taught me, my professors, and use it. Differentiate. Be a good Christian. Be a good model to my students. To take the time to understand them and get to know them and do the best I can to help them. To learn how to accommodate and modify if needed. To help those who are my ELL students, my GATE, my special needs students, to really understand what they need to succeed, what they need to understand. How can I help them understand? As my job as an educator, it's more than just knowing the content. It's knowing my student. It's knowing what they need, knowing how I can help them, and to be a good person for them, be a Christian person for them. Thank you.